All right, let's talk about something that's on pretty much everyone's mind: money, and specifically financial wisdom. Now, this isn't about getting rich quick or anything like that. It's really about finding a simple, clear way to manage what you have right now in a way that feels good and responsible. So let's jump right in. So here's the big question, right? How do I manage my money wisely? I mean, it doesn't matter if you've got a little or a lot in the bank. This is a question that hits home for all of us. It's just a fundamental part of trying to build a stable, good life. And you know what? The good news is that there really is a clear path forward. This isn't going to be a bunch of complicated, rigid rules. Think of it more like a journey, one that's guided by three super simple but really powerful ideas that can help literally anyone get their finances in order. Okay, so here they are, the three big ideas we're going to unpack. Look ahead, make plans, and act quickly. Sounds simple, right? But put them into practice and they can be absolutely transformative. Let's dive into that first one. All right, step one, look ahead. This is really the foundation of it all. It's about kind of pulling back from the day-to-day chaos, taking our eyes off what's right in front of us and looking at the bigger picture of our lives. Just making that one shift can bring down the stress level a ton and give you this incredible sense of being in the driver's seat. So what does looking ahead actually mean? Well, it really boils down to having the courage to face the facts, to just be honest about where you are financially. It is so easy, and we all do it, to get caught up in living for today and just ignore what's coming down the road. But that's a recipe for future problems. Real wisdom, it starts with just being honest with yourself. And this idea is captured perfectly in Proverbs 14:8. It says, "The wise man looks ahead, the fool attempts to fool himself and won't face facts." It's that simple, really. Wisdom is about looking forward. Foolishness is about pretending the facts aren't what they are. So let's just put these two mindsets side by side. On one hand, you've got wise thinking. You face the facts, you look ahead. On the other hand, foolish thinking. That's all about short-term focus, buying things you can't really afford. And honestly, that short-term thinking is probably the number one reason people end up in debt. Okay, so that leads us right into step two, make plans. This flows perfectly from the first step, right? Once you're looking ahead and you can actually see where you want to go, well, the next logical step is to draw the map to get there. Now, some people get a little hung up here. They think, well, if I make a detailed plan, does that mean I'm not trusting God? But that's actually a misconception. See, planning doesn't replace trust. It's a vital, practical part of being a good steward of what you've been given. In fact, making plans is actively encouraged. Proverbs 16:9 says we should make plans, counting on God to direct us. See how those two things go together? It's a partnership. We do the practical work of planning, and we trust God to guide the outcome. So what's the most practical, hands-on tool for this kind of planning? It's a budget. And please, don't let that word scare you off. A budget is nothing more than planned spending. I love how this is phrased here. It's about telling your money where to go, instead of scratching your head and wondering where it all went. Now that is real control. And commitment here is everything. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. So when you actually sit down to build that budget, it's not just about math and spreadsheets. You're taking that practical effort and dedicating it, connecting your everyday actions to a much bigger promise of success. Which brings us to our third and final step. And this one is so important because a plan without action is, well, it's just a piece of paper. Step 3 is to act quickly. This is where all that looking ahead and planning turns into actual real-world progress. Really, the name of the game here is fighting procrastination. Once you know what you need to do, you just have to do it. We all fall into this trap of waiting for the perfect time, right? Oh, I'll start when I get a raise or when things slow down a bit. That perfect moment never comes. The best time to start making a change is always right now. There's this amazing verse in Ecclesiastes that just nails this idea. It says, "Whoever watches the wind will never plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will never harvest." Just think about that. If a farmer waited for the weather to be absolutely perfect, they'd never get a single seed in the ground. It's the exact same with our finances. You have to work with what you've got, right where you are. And look, this has to get specific. This isn't just a vague idea. We're talking about taking real, concrete steps. Maybe that means selling the house you know you can't afford. Maybe it's downsizing or trading in that car with the killer monthly payment. Or maybe it's as simple as using your next day off to finally make that budget. Action isn't fuzzy, it's specific. So, there you have it. The 3 big steps. Look ahead, make plans, and act quickly. We've walked through them, but now the real work begins. The focus is shifting from me talking to you and your life. Your path forward, it starts with the very next choice you make. So let's start with a little honest reflection. Just for yourself, when it comes to your money, do you tend to look ahead or are you more of a live for today person? There's no right or wrong answer here and definitely no judgment. It just helps you figure out your starting point. Okay, next question. Do you follow a budget? If you do, that's awesome. Maybe it's just time for a quick tune-up. But if not, I want you to do more than just think, yeah, I should probably do that. I'm serious. Right now, pull out your phone or your calendar and block off some time this week to actually create one. Make an appointment with yourself. And finally, let's bring it all home to action. What is the one thing, just one, in your finances that you know you need to act on? That thing you've been putting off? Get really clear on what that is. Just pinpoint that one single thing you need to do next. Because at the end of the day, this whole thing, it's a path that can change everything for you. It's not about being perfect from day one. It's just about starting. Your wise path, your journey to financial peace, it doesn't start with your next paycheck. It starts right now with your very next choice.